Well, good morning, church. Welcome to Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. I'm excited putting the last few touches on the sermon for Sunday and looking forward to all that the Lord has in store for us there. But this morning, I want to return back to the armor of God. And you might think we were done with that. We've looked at every element. We've wrapped it up in a neat bow, seeing it's all directed. It's all pointing us to Christ. But I think there's another point here that we need so much in our world today, so important as we look at what it means to stand in His strength, right? Be strong in the Lord, in the strength of His might, not mine. And the fact that this is all Christ, it's all things that we have in Him. Paul goes on to make another desperately needed point as we put on this armor of God. And that is our dependence on Him. Verse 18, how do we do it? How do we stand in the strength of His might? How do we put on the armor of God? Praying at all times in the Spirit, with all prayer and supplication. To that end, keep alert, with all perseverance, making supplication for all the saints. Our culture is so fiercely independent. It's all about you're enough and you can do it and you're strong. And one of the great themes of the Bible, I love you, but you're not strong enough. So you can't do it. Is that you need a Savior from outside of you. We need a righteousness, a strength, a hope from outside of us. It's not about reach down into your own heart to find strength there. We need to be reaching outwards, and that's what prayer is. And it's tragic. In my experience, there's so many who would say, oh, I trust the Lord and I'm walking with Him and He's my strength. But when it comes right down to it, they are prayerless. And in our prayerlessness and not spending time on our knees, we communicate to the Lord, I don't need you. I've got this. And I know you'd never say that, but by your actions, by your lack of action in prayer, we are becoming self-dependent and self-sufficient and closing the door on the Lord's help. So I want to challenge you. I want to encourage you. This is one of my great prayers for this season for our church, that God would be using this to drive us to our knees, to remind us of our need for Him. He's cleared your calendar. Our evenings are free. Some of us, our whole days are free. And so let me just implore you, grow in prayer. Grow in a real, actual dependence on the Lord that starts on your knees before Him, desperate for Him. That's how we grow. And I know it's so easy to just go about our day. It's so easy to leave prayer as just kind of an assume, God, you know that I need you. I just don't have time right now for that. Don't let that be us, church. Let us walk in the power of His might, in His strength, taking up the armor of God, praying at all times. Now, and again, spiritual warfare is not some subset of the Christian life, right? It's not that we live our day-to-day Christian life and then over here maybe we do this spiritual warfare thing. No, it's day-to-day. It's walking every day in believing the gospel, walking in obedience to Him, trusting Him. And so we need prayer day to day. So let me encourage you in that. We'll dive more into that. I'm going to follow suit from last week and take Monday off, so you won't hear from me here on Monday. But Tuesday, we'll start just looking a little further into prayer and what does Paul communicate here about our need for prayer, our need for this Godward dependence. So, church, I love you. I'm praying for you. I'm excited for what the Lord has in store for us tomorrow. But I'll see you here again on Tuesday.